In this lecture, we'll be going over multiplying polynomials. We will learn how to multiply monomials, multiply a monomial and a polynomial, multiply two polynomials, and then multiply binomials using a FOIL method. Let's get started. Let's first multiply a monomial and a polynomial. To find the product of a monomial and a polynomial with more than one term, we will use the distributive property and then multiply using the product rule for exponents. Here's our first example. 4x to the power 5 times 3x cubed plus 2x squared. As you can see, I have two terms inside my parenthesis and I have one term outside my parenthesis. So I will multiply using a distributive property. So I'm going to first multiply 4x to the power 5 with 3x cubed. And then I will multiply 4x to the power 5 with 2x squared. Let's first write this down. So you can skip this middle step once you get familiar with how to multiply. But for right now, I'm just showing you every single step. Let me get the pen here. So now when I multiply the 4 times 3, which are numbers, I'm going to get 12. And now when I multiply the variables x to the power 5 and x to the power 3, that should give me x to the power 8 using a product rule. Product rule says you keep the base and you add the powers. Similarly, when I multiply here 4 times 2, I'll get 8. And when I multiply x to the power 5 with x squared, I will add the powers and I will have x to the power 7. This is how you get 12x to the 8 plus 8x to the 7. Now, if they were like terms, I would have combined, but as you can see, the x to the power 8 and x to the power 7, they have different exponents. So if they have different exponents or different variables or both, you cannot combine. So that will be my final answer. Let's try another example. Negative 8m cubed times 4m cubed plus 3m squared plus 2m minus 1. I have a monomial outside and I have 4 terms inside. So this time I will distribute 4 times. This is my first time. This will be my second time. This will be my third time. And then my fourth time. So I'm going to multiply negative 8m cubed 4 times because I have 4 terms inside. So I'm using a distributive property. So I'm going to write this down again for understanding purpose. Now let's try again. Negative 8 times 4 will be negative 32. And m cubed will be m to the power 6. Negative 8 times 3 will be negative 24. M cubed and m to the power 2 using a product rule will be m to the power 5. Negative 8 times 2, negative 16, m cubed and m. Now be careful, if there is no power, it's 1. So when I add m to the power 3 with m to the power 1, that will make it m to the power 4. And anything times 1 will stay the same, which will be 8m cubed. So as you can see, our final answer is negative 32 m to the 6 minus 24 m to the power 5 minus 16 m to the power 4 plus 8m cubed. Let's multiply polynomials. To multiply the two polynomials, multiplying each term of the second polynomial by each term of the first polynomial, and then we can add the products if the terms are like. Let's look at the example. M plus 3 times m squared minus 2m plus 1. I have a binomial, which is m plus 3, and I have a trinomial, m squared minus 2m plus 1. So this is how I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply first m by m squared, m by negative 2m, m by 1. So I took the first term m and then I'm multiplying 3 times. I will repeat this again with my second term, positive 3. I will multiply 3 by m squared next, 3 by negative 2m next, and 3 by 1 next. So total number of times that I will multiply will be 6. Let's first write it down. So this is what I just did. The way I showed you that I'm multiplying 6 times, so I wrote it down 6 times. So m times m squared, in here, the first term, as you can see, is going to be m to the power 3. This will be negative 2m to the power 2, because 1 and 1. M times 1 will be m. 3 times m squared will be 3m squared. Negative 3 times 2m will be negative 6m. And then 3 times 1 will remain 3. Now in this case, I have to go further more because I do see like terms. Okay, so if you can see, negative 2m squared and positive 3m squared are like. So when you combine, you get 1m squared, which is the same thing as m squared. When you combine, you leave the variable as is. Also, m and negative 6m are like. Both are m. There is a 1 in the front, hidden 1. So 1 minus 6m should give you negative 5m. So I'm going to leave alone my m cube and I'm going to leave alone my positive 3 because I do not have anything else to combine that with. So this is my final answer, m cubed kept as is. Combining negative 2m squared with the 3m squared, I got m squared, 1m squared, which is same thing as m squared. Positive 1m minus 6m, that's how I got negative 5m, and then bring down the positive 3. Now, the same type of problem I will show you with a different method, writing it vertically. Let's try. X plus 4 times 3x squared plus 4x minus 5. So I'm going to multiply here x by 3x squared first, then x by 4x, x by negative 5. Then 4 times 3x squared, 4 times 4x, and then 4 times negative 5. This is what I get. So if you see that the first time when I multiplied, I wrote that in a purple color. That's x with 3x squared, x with 4x, and x with negative 5. When I wrote with the 4 times 3x squared, and then 4 times 4x, and 4 times negative 5, that's in my green font. So I will put my purple fonts first on the top when I multiply. So here we go. So 3 times x times 3x squared will give me 3x cubed, plus x times 4x will give me 4x squared, and negative x times 5, which is the same thing as negative 5x. Now, the second row, I'm going to write below in such a way so when I combine, I exactly know which two terms I'm going to combine. So 4 times 3x squared will be 12x squared right there. If you see the second term, 12x squared, this is my x squared term. So I'll start putting 12x squared underneath. This will go underneath the 5x because it will be 16x. And the last term will go in the back. So this is how I write vertically 12x squared plus 16x minus 20. The reason for this doing it because it's easy for you to combine to see which two terms you're combining. Now I'm just going to combine. So here I don't have to see which terms are like. I exactly know. I'm going to bring down the 3x cubed. 4 plus 12 will be 16x squared. Negative 5 plus 16 will be positive 11x and minus 20. And that's your final answer. So either method you can use, either you can write and then combine horizontally, or you can write and do it vertically, just the way in this example. Let's multiply now the binomials with the FOIL method. Step number 1, we will multiply the two first terms of the binomial to get the first term of the answer. Step number 2 will be find the outer product and the inner product and then add them when possible to get the middle term of the answer. Step number 3 will be multiplying the two last terms of the binomials to get the last term of the answer. So in a short, it's called FOIL. F for first, O for outer, I for inner, and L for last. Here's our example. 5x plus 2 times 2x minus 7. So let's first multiply the first term. So the first terms, meaning the 5x is the first term here in the first parenthesis, and 2x is a first term in the second parenthesis. When I multiply these two, I'm going to get 10x squared. Let's multiply now the outer terms. Outer meaning the one which are outside of the parenthesis. In this case, I'm multiplying 5x with the negative 7. That should give me negative 35x. Let's do the inner terms now. 2 times 2x, that's inner, the one inside. That should give you 4x, positive 4x. And then we'll do the last term. So the last term means the second one inside the parenthesis. So 2 times negative 7, that should give me negative 14. This is how I get 10x squared minus 35x plus 4x minus 14. Now, if you can see, these two terms are like because both of them have an x, so we can combine. That should give us a negative 31x. So here, our final answer is 10x squared minus 31x minus 14. Let's try one more example. 5a plus 3b times 5a minus 4b. First, I'm going to multiply my first term, which in this case is going to be 5a times 5a, which will give me 25a squared. Let's multiply our outer terms 5a times negative 4b, which will give me negative 20ab. Let's multiply the inner terms 3b times 5a, which is 15ba, or you can write 15ab. Either or should be okay. And then I'm going to multiply my last term 3b times negative 4b. That should give me negative 12b squared. So this is what I get, 25a squared minus 20ab plus 15ab, or ba, same thing, minus 12b squared. The middle two right there, you can combine. They're like terms because of ab and ab. That should give you negative 5ab in the middle. Our final answer is 25a squared minus 5ab minus 12b squared. If needed, you can watch the video again.